Let's see, this is the Samoa cupcake based on the very famous Girl Scout cookie. Ooh, look at that, it's beautiful. Am I allowed to eat it yet? It's so nice looking, I don't want to ruin it. It's like a work of art, look at this. There's probably no way to eat this without making a mess, but I think that's part of the experience. It's all over my face. That's good. That's really good. Our last video on underrated towns in Maine was a hit. People love discovering places off the usual tourist path, and today we're back doing it again, this time going even further off the beaten path. Some of the places we visit might surprise you, or even spark a little debate, maybe even a little hate in the comments, but we can take it. We're highlighting 4 towns that don't always make the top of the list guides, especially in winter. Each has its own personality, charm, and winter activities. And some are places locals love quietly, while others might make you say, really? I wouldn't have guessed. So let's dive in with the first town that came up over and over in your comments. Our first stop today is Bridgton, a town in the heart of Maine's Lakes region that kept coming up in your comments. Located in Cumberland County, Bridgton sits at the intersection of nature and community, and its population has been growing steadily. The U.S. Census estimates around 5,900 year-round residents as of 2024, nearly a 9% increase since 2020. Bridgton is known for easy access to water, including Long Lake, Highland Lake, and Woods Pond. Plus, it's surrounded by hundreds of miles of trails, quiet forests, and open winter landscape. This town has a mix of small boutiques and big town conveniences. You'll find quaint shops and antiques right downtown, but also everyday amenities like a Hannaford grocery store and local hardware stores, so residents aren't driving far for basics. Bridgton's median household income is around the mid-80,000s. For families, the area is served by School Administrative District 61, which includes Stevensbrook Elementary, Lake Region Middle School, and Lake Region High School. And just a short drive from town is Bridgton Academy, a well-established all-male college preparatory school on the shores of Long Lake. One of Bridgton's hidden gems is Pondicherry Park, a 66-acre woodland preserve with miles of trails, streams, and bridges weaving through the woods. It's a great place to get outside on a snowy afternoon. And today, we're stopping for lunch at Pondicherry House, a local favorite that's as much about the experience as the food. Just finished up our dinner at Pondicherry House. When you come to Bridgton, Maine, you must come to this place. I was just telling my friend, She comes to Bridgton every summer, and I said, I'm going to Pondicherry House for dinner. She said, you have to get the mussels. The mussels were great, risotto, phenomenal. The staff was awesome, loved the atmosphere in there as well. Bridgton, Maine, Pondicherry House, you must come. Bridgton is a town that's great to live in or visit year-round, and it's so easy to see why so many of you wanted us to include it on this list. But now, let's head north. Of course, I don't just talk about Maine, I help people move here too. I'm Kyle Dennis, host of Meeting Maine and a real estate agent with Pouliot Real Estate. Maine has so much to offer: historic towns, lakes, mountains, and communities full of character. If you've been dreaming about moving, I can help make it real, guiding you through neighborhoods, homes, and all the details that matter. Let's find your place in Maine. Jackman, known as the Switzerland of Maine, is one of Maine's most remote towns, a place where winter doesn't just arrive, it stays. If serenity and wilderness are what you're after, this might be the kind of place that stays on your mind long after you leave. Jackman sits in Somerset County, roughly 50 miles north of the more well-known Greenville and Moosehead Lake, the heart of Maine's largest inland water system, and about 30 miles south of the Canadian border at Route 201. With an estimated population fewer than 1,000 year-round residents, it's one of the least densely populated towns in all of New England. The median household income in Jackman, Maine is approximately $55,526 per year.
Jackman is unique in how rural it is and how far away it is from the modern conveniences, if you will. Living in Jackman gets you out of the hustle and bustle of the big city, the stress that goes along with that. You can come up here and relax, still stay connected if you need to. The people of the town of Jackman welcome you and help you. And there's so many things to do. You can't really come up here and be bored. It's one of the top areas in the state of Maine when you look at the accessibility to hunting and fishing, snowmobiling, ATV, hiking. We have lakes and rivers. We are a short distance away from Quebec. It really is, it's a perfect tourist destination.
Jackman lies at the heart of Maine's Moose River region, surrounded by hundreds of thousands of acres of forest, rivers, lakes, and woodlands that feel like true wilderness. Close by are Big Wood Lake and the Moose River, places that offer fishing, wildlife viewing, and opportunities for deep immersion in nature throughout the winter. Hundreds of miles of groomed snowmobile trails wind through the forests around Jackman, and local routes tie into Maine's interconnected trail system, a statewide network of groomed corridors that can carry riders to neighboring regions and up toward the Canadian border. In winter, snowmobile tracks, cross-country ski routes, and snowshoe paths crisscross hills and valleys that see fewer crowds than more southern trail systems, offering a great escape in the woods and snow.
The people of the town of Jackman, they're hardworking, friendly, outgoing people, very resilient, independent people because they have to be. You're an hour and a half from the next biggest city, out of Skowhegan. You're an hour and a half from the closest hospital. The forestry industry has a tremendous amount of opportunities here. The maple sugar industry, and then guide service to deal with hunting and fishing. We have outdoor activity groups that are always in high demand and are looking for people. And then service industry, right? The stores and the motels and the hotels. So you could come up here, and if your job allowed you to work from home, if you will, we have the ability, whether we have broadband in town or even connectivity through Starlink and things like that.
Despite its remoteness, Jackman still supports a close-knit community. There's a single K-12 school, Forest Hills Consolidated School, and local services that reflect a small-town life built around self-reliance and connection to the land.
The local businesses and the local groups work very closely together to promote Jackman and make sure that Jackman is successful. We had the Shackman Days. It was just really unusual winter carnival kind of an event. We have big plans now for the 4th of July that we're putting together. We want to make it a weekend event. Looking for events like that, and there's a commitment from the people of Jackman to restore that in the community for people to keep them engaged. We need to continue to walk a fine line between growing, to remain viable as a community, but not changing so much that we lose that thing that is the biggest charm. There are reasons why people move to Jackman. There are reasons why people come to Jackman to visit. When our groups come together and talk, that's what they talk about, is what can we do to have events and draw people to the community without losing what is Jackman.
Now let's head somewhere that may be a little more accessible for some. Yes, this is technically two towns, Shapleigh and Acton. They are two neighboring towns in southern Maine's rural inland region. Shapleigh has around 2,900 residents and Acton has a similar population, and both communities are defined by lakes, forests, trails, and shared history, including the Acton-Shapleigh Historical Society.
So the history of this land started roughly in 1669 when it was purchased by Major Nicholas Shapleigh, who was a wealthy ship owner in Kittery. He purchased the land just before the French and Indian War. So he sort of put away the deed, and then he passed away. We had 80 years of hostilities with the wars. Once the hostilities stopped, there was this great expansion. People were starting to figure that, well, now it's safe, we can start moving north and west away from the coastline. So the descendants of Nicholas Shapleigh found the deed. So they figured, well, we might as well, we've got this land, we might as well go and settle it. So they ended up starting from Kittery, Elliott, Berwick area, and they trekked up to what is now Shapleigh and Acton. They had one big town and incorporated it. It was called Shapleigh, and that was in 1785. There was the East Parish, which is where we are here in Shapleigh, and the West Parish, which was Acton. And they were comfortable with that, and then they decided that they wanted to make two different towns. So they kind of split the town in half, where the lakes are. Mousom Lake, Square Pond kind of makes a nice geographic border between the two towns, and Acton became its own town in 1830. A lot of the families that originally settled in Shapleigh, their descendants are still here. There are still quite a few buildings that were from the 1700s, early 1800s that are still standing, that didn't get torn down, that didn't get burned down. So you've still got a lot of those old farmsteads, so you've got that great architectural history there on both sides, doesn't matter Acton or Shapleigh.
In Shapleigh, public education begins at Shapleigh Memorial School, which serves students from pre-K through 5th grade as part of Regional School Unit 57. After elementary school, students continue within the same district at Massabesic Middle School, grades 6 to 8, and then Massabesic High School, grades 9 to 12, both of which serve children from Shapleigh and neighboring RSU 57 towns. In Acton, public education begins at Acton Elementary School, which serves students from pre-K through 8th grade as part of the Acton School Department. After 8th grade, students typically attend Sanford High School in neighboring Sanford for grades 9 to 12 under an inter-town arrangement, since Acton does not operate its own high school. The Shapleigh-Acton region is home to small, rural communities with modest yet varied household incomes. Shapleigh has a median household income of about $87,560, while Acton's median household income is around $75,652. The Shapleigh-Acton region is defined by its lakes and ponds. Mousom Lake spans both towns and feeds the Mousom River, offering ice fishing, walking along frozen shores, and quiet winter scenery. Square Pond and Goose Pond are smaller spring-fed lakes with seasonal residences and trails nearby, perfect for snowshoeing or watching wildlife. The region also includes several public and conserved lands. Williamstown Park is a 300-acre woodland with mixed-use trails, while Goat Hill Trail in Acton, managed by the Three Rivers Land Trust, offers elevated views over lakes, forests, and rolling hills. In winter, Shapleigh and Acton appeal to people who want recreation, quiet lakes, and forested landscapes without being completely remote.
This is definitely for people who like their space, but also like to be close enough to civilization. So you know, 15 minutes to New Hampshire, 15 minutes to downtown, but you can come home and it's quiet and you can see the stars, and you know, if you want to, you can go out for a hike. If you enjoy the water, you can kayak and boat and go fishing, hunting. In the winter, you have snowmobile trails that you can go on. So it's definitely for the active, younger crowd to enjoy. But I think that the older people enjoy it as well. Again, because of that, it's quiet. There's not that hustle and bustle and dealing with the traffic. We have quite a few farmhouses that are still in existence here, and people have bought them and have turned them into small farms, doing it either privately for their own benefit or doing like goat milk or eggs and other dairy products. So when you're looking at building or buying property, you have to look at the fact that there's a minimum of 2 acres. So if you had a huge piece of land you inherited from someone and you wanted to subdivide it, there's a minimum that you can subdivide. So you're not sitting on top of your neighbor. You know, you've got some area around you so you can have a little privacy.
It's perfect for people who want a slower pace, a strong sense of community, and a connection to the land year-round. Camden. Yes, I know, Camden. You're probably thinking, what do you mean Camden? Everyone knows Camden. That's true. It is a very well-known spot here in Maine. But here's the twist. Most people only think of Camden or visit Camden in the summertime. In the winter, this town has its own rhythm with outdoor adventure, scenic spots, and community life that often surprises people. Camden sits in Knox County on Penobscot Bay, about 90 minutes east of Portland. According to the most recent U.S. Census estimates, Camden's year-round population is about 5,200 residents with a dynamic year-round culture that shifts beautifully when snow arrives. The median household income in Camden is about $82,841. One of Camden's biggest winter draws is the Camden Snowbowl on Ragged Mountain. It's famous for its scenic chairlift rides, bringing skiers and sightseers above town with views of both snow-covered runs and the bay. Camden's terrain tends to be gentler than major mountain resorts, making it perfect for families and anyone who wants a relaxed mountain experience paired with coastal beauty. Ragged Mountain itself is part of the Camden Hills State Park landscape, where trails like Mount Megunticook and Mount Batty climb above town in dramatic ways. In winter, these trails become serene paths for snowshoeing and backcountry skiing, offering panoramic views over snow-dusted forest and down to the frozen bay below. Megunticook Lake, tucked into the Camden Hills, freezes in winter and becomes a quiet expanse for ice fishing and peaceful lakeside walks. Nearby, Hosmer Pond and smaller lakes add to the coastal inland water scene that feels very different from summer cruise boats and kayaks. Camden also knows how to celebrate winter. Events like the Camden Winterfest and U.S. National Toboggan Championships and local holiday markets bring the community together with crafts, food, music, and family-friendly activities. Downtown becomes a place to gather by fire pits, sip hot drinks, and enjoy seasonal celebrations that transform these cold months into something warm and social. One of the things I love about these towns is you can always find some local shops, restaurants, or a great bakery that you're just not going to find anywhere else. We came across Laugh Loud, Smile Big Cupcakery. Weren't even planning this, but cupcakes, are you kidding me? We got to try this out. See, this is the Samoa cupcake based on the very famous Girl Scout cookie. Ooh, look at that, it's beautiful. Am I allowed to eat it yet? It's so nice looking, I don't want to ruin it. It's like a work of art, look at this. There's probably no way to eat this without making a mess, but I think that's part of the experience. It's all over my face. That's good. That's really good. That's phenomenal. What? No, seriously, that is phenomenal. Well, we got the chocolate cupcake, but there's like this caramel and chocolate drizzle on the buttercream frosting, which is really, really good. And it tastes like a Samoa cookie. There's actually a little piece of Samoa cookie. It's like the flavor just keeps getting better and better in my mouth as this goes along. I was seriously only planning to have one bite, but I think I'd have one more. Camden is a great fit for people who love living where outdoor variety meets community life. It's a place where you can ski in the morning, explore a quiet winter trail in the afternoon, then enjoy dinner with friends downtown. It's not remote wilderness, but it's also not a beach-only town. It's a place where there's something to do and great to visit throughout the year. From lakes and wilderness to history and a snowy coastline, these places remind us that Maine's underrated towns are beautiful and alive even in the winter. Whether you're visiting, relocating, or just curious, there's always more to explore in the Pine Tree State. Comment below with some other underrated towns you think are worth visiting.